Memories are important to all living things. They shape us into who we are, give us our motivation. It's our everything. Though what happens when we lose our memory? What do we become then? One could say we just end up a faceless wanderer who's lost all sense of what we once were. Hi, I'm the Tsuchinoko Familiar, and this is the Encounter Files, where I inform you about all the terrible creatures that can plague your world. Today, we are talking about an aberration who has a hunger for one thing and one thing only, for memories. When looking for origins for this creature, nothing much is found, though it makes sense that there's no real counterpart for something as aberrant as this. In the text of Tome of Beasts 2, the description of it says, "The robed figure formed of tattered shadows and swirling darkness has a bone-white featureless oval disc where its face should be." When looking at how these creatures are born, we look at the Tome of Beasts again and it states that when a large group of sentient creatures are broken and twisted as a result of exposure to the forest's denizens, they then turn into this aberrant creature with a thirst for memories. Honestly, for this creature, one of its most interesting parts is its ability to steal memories. These creatures require memories to sustain themselves, and then as they eat people's memories and kill those who they steal them from, they turn other people into more wanderers. And an interesting thing to note is they don't eat the memories of children, as they don't have enough memories worth taking yet. That's all really the book has to say about them, so let's move on to stats now. The Faceless Wanderer is a challenge rating 4 aberration of medium size with neutral evil alignment. It has an AC of 13, has 58 hit points, and has a fly speed of 30 feet. Its stats are 12 in strength, 17 in dex, 14 in con, 16 in intelligence, 12 in wisdom, and 10 in charisma. This thing also has a resistance to cold damage, and being made of pure darkness, I think that is a logical choice. It is also immune to poison and psychic damage, and I don't really think I have to go into reasonings why those are, good choices, but to reiterate, it doesn't have a fucking mouth, or veins, or blood, or anything that you could poison if you wanted to. And I'm not even going to go into detail with the psychic immunity. It steals memories. Pretty self-explanatory here. Another thing to point out, it can be blinded, exhausted, or put prone, and has a blind sight of 60 feet and a passive perception of 12. So, these things should be easy to sneak by, and if you make it deaf, it's even easier to sneak by, because then what are you going to worry about? Can't see or hear shit. Though something interesting, it has access to all languages and telepathy, which is quite interesting because you gotta wonder, what does a memory-stealing aberration have to say about the things in the world, What's he gotta say? It's like, man,
I have stolen many memories in my day, but all I know is that people hate the McRib.
I don't know, that's all I gotta say on that. Now for the bread and butter, its unique abilities. It has 2 effects that can cause many problems for adventurers. First of which is the memory loss effect. That basically, after one interacts or sees the creature, it must make a DC 11 wisdom saving throw 1 minute after interacting with the creature, or seeing it. And if you fail, you completely forget the whole interaction. And if you were alone, basically your whole life just becomes the Memento movie, as if you keep running into these creatures. Now, one of the abilities that has an interesting idea for me is the regeneration that comes from using its memory drain attack. As long as they've used their memory drain in the last minute, they can regain 5 HP at the start of the turn. Though if it dies while it can still regenerate, its body dissipates and returns to the Far Realm in 1d10 days. Why I like this ability, I'll go into a bit later when we go over the encounters. Now for attacks, it has 2 attacks. Its claws, which can be used twice per turn, thanks to multi-attack. The claws do 1d6 plus 3 slashing damage, and 2d6 psychic damage, and have a plus 5 to hit. Now, these can be quite dangerous and put any barbarians into a very dangerous situation, though something more dangerous than just petty claws is its memory drain effect that puts much more than a simple barbarian in danger. Any adult creature in 30 feet of this creature will have to make a DC 13 intelligence saving throw. And on a fail, not only will they take 4d6 psychic damage, they will also have their intelligence score down by 1d4, and if their intelligence reaches 0, they die, and rise as a Faceless Wanderer in 1d4 hours later. The loss of intelligence lasts till a short or long rest, which personally I feel lower the threat of this. Somewhere I feel like a remove curse or greater restoration should be used, though it's only challenge rating 4, so maybe I'm pushing it too much. Though as a DM you have the choice to make it a little harder to recover from this. Now that the stats are out of the way, let's take a look at some counter ideas. Now running into this creature could be anywhere. In the dark alleys in a big city, randomly in the woods one night, or a fog-covered island that has said many who go there have never returned, or never returned the same at all at least. These creatures are very adaptable and definitely threatening just by themselves, but a pack of them are definitely worse. For the setting on with this one, I'm thinking of a group. They're investigating a foggy island that many who have gone there have changed, like they lost a part of their very being, or they've just been lost for ages, never to be seen again. The group are seasoned adventurers and have seen many fights and have built great bonds together, traveling around the world and such. As the group travels to the island, it could soon be surrounded by these creatures and not even notice it in the thick fog that envelops the island. The cleric may mistake them for an undead and then try and use turn undead to get their ghostly appearance away, but then notice nothing happens. And then the wanderer comes to steal its memories as the cleric is dumbfounded in the initiative pool. The cleric then loses a random memory. Depending on how many intelligence points they lose, I say the severity. If they had a 4, it'd be a pretty big one. Like maybe the cleric forgot who their god is. Or maybe they forgot, why are they fighting? What are they doing here? Though that also could depend on how high their intelligence stat is, so as a DM you can use your discretion here. This is why I feel like something like a long rest isn't enough to get rid of this. Though depending on how you run the counter, it could go different ways, and especially on what memories they lost. How do you know this person wants to take a long rest, and etc. But also, I feel at least a spell should be required to mitigate this. I mean, a motherfucker has to sleep eventually, don't they? Though one of my favorite things is an interesting idea I had with the regeneration. I brought it up earlier as when they die, they come back in the farm realm, and then they have to make their way back to the material plane over time. The Faceless Wanderer in this situation, after getting a taste of the player's memories, the Faceless Wanderer may try and go for the party member again and try and steal more of their memories, or re-steal memories if they got them back. And unless they stop it from stealing memories from them over and over each time, it's just going to keep coming back. And who knows, maybe next time it'll bring some of its buddy. And if there's an adventuring party, well shit, it's just a buffet for these guys at this point. And these guys can literally appear anywhere, as they're quite adaptable, as the book says. They could appear while you're at dinner with your family. They could find you while you're fighting the big bad. They could find you with your pants down while you're on the toilet. The options here are really limitless on where they will go to go get memories. And with that, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's been, almost half a year since I last uploaded one of these. I don't have good work ethic. Okay, that's a lie. I was really busy with school recently. I just graduated, so now I can put some more time into this while I'm also, going to work and shit. But I have a lot more free time in essence at the moment, so I can make more videos. A lot of them. Thank you for watching the video, and hopefully I will have one of these out before I die of old age at this rate. Have a great one.